we got our good friend over here, Michael Catron, out here playing a Duskmane Necrozma Vermin.
On the arrow next to the 0 and hit save.
And we got our good friend Jack Mellins out here.
All right, so both players have started a basic. It looks like Michael has 2 in his hand.
Gimme.
I believe Jack is going first.
Top 4 players, your match may begin.
Michael. So, we know it is Necrozma versus Duskmane. Ooh.
Catron opens a stack Attacka with a Duskmane Necrozma on the bench.
Kind of unfortunate for Jack to open Marshadow. It's not something you really want to see in this matchup. You want to see mainly Dawnwing.
You want to see not that. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Jake. Whoops.
Well,
so Jake opening with a treasure, discarding a psychic. Very strong opening. He gets an Inkay, obviously.
Yeah.
So what's going on? A little bit of a
old commentators
confusion.
had my good friend Jake Mellon's name wrong.
It looks like he has a supporter in hand, yeah. So he's going to be able to get that Marshadow to the active spot with the Floatstone. It's still a bit of a problem for him, just he has that board. It's a very easy knockout for the Stataka or the Duskmane to take, along with a couple of other attackers. And he is playing Necrozma, so it already is a bad enough matchup as is due to the resistance and everything. Opts not to play the Max Elixir, interesting enough.
Away the Max Elixir.
I guess he figures he wants more energy in deck for his later attackers instead of trying to get a retreat up because he already has the Floatstone on the Marshadow.
Actually, I think his brain's just absolutely massive.
Let's see. So he
Opts
gets an
Ultra
Ultra
Ball.
Ball.
2 psychic energies.
Wow, he hits a lot of psychics.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was talking with him earlier. He has 15 psychic energies in his deck.
Wow. He already has 5 of them in his discard, which is very strong. Means he's probably not going to have energies discarding anything. Ultra Ball's for a Lele. So he passes here. Interesting. Maybe doesn't want him to get a knockout on the Lele or something.
I don't.
Potential end play around.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense for Catron opening the stack Attacka. He's a stone. It looks like he's an Ultra Ball as well. Getting rid of 2 metals, interestingly enough. Catron has big think brain though, so clearly he is managing plays in his head right now. Catron's list does not interestingly play Bridget, so
plays Lily instead.
Yes, so he may go for T1 Lily,
yep.
Which he indeed is doing.
Hey, that's my Lily.
Very strong play from Catron indeed.
He's going for what, 6?
Looks like it, maybe more. Ooh, 7.
7.
T1 7 Lily.
Attaches onto the Duskmane.
So yeah, it looks like he may have more, but it looks like he's just going to retreat
so
into the Lele and
here.
pass. So we are going to see that Lele hit the field. No N from Catron. He does have a Mali in hand, although he only has 1 Malamar, which is a very bad situation for him to be in turn 2, especially in a Necrozma deck.
Yeah, unless he gets a Max Elixir, he's most likely not doing anything this turn.
He has burned 1, though. Surprisingly, he didn't opt to go for Bridget T1 with the Ultra Ball. He just went for an Inkay. He may have wanted more energy and discard with a Sycamore.
Yeah, but honestly, he has enough energies in his deck to get them in there quick enough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone for a larger hand.
So Floatstone on Mali. Here's a choice band.
Sycamore away.
Drawing 7 again.
He has not attached an energy this game.
Dude.
And I think he has 7 in his discard.
Maybe 8.
I think it's either 7 or 9. It's a lot.
Appears to be 7.
There's an 8th.
So it looks like he's just passing after attaching to the Marshadow. I guess his game plan is to try and hit around the resistance with Marshadow, even though it is rather frail. Catron's hand seemingly dead. Interestingly enough.
8 cards off the Lily and it has absolutely nothing.
Although it is fair to comment that right now anyway... Oh, he had a Lele, so never mind. I was going to say that Jake's hand is not very strong, but obviously has a Lele. He doesn't have any Pokemon in discard to activate his Marshadow, however, and it doesn't seem in his current situation that he has a way to get one in there. So he's just going to Cynthia, draw a fresh new hand, try and get an attacker Although it is difficult for him to power one up just because he does only have one Malamar out. So he can't knock out the Lele. I think Catron's trying to either trying to pull off something or his hand is just actually dead.
Yeah. While I'm looking at it, he's a lot of Guzmas.
He does, however, have an Ultra Ball he opts not to play, interestingly enough.
If I were Jake, I'd be trying to get a lot more Inkays on the field. He's
Yeah.
flooding his board with Tapu Leles, which are just liabilities.
Not a very good attacker in this
Yeah,
situation
this is one of the
either.
matchups where you want to have at least 3 Malamars in play at all times, or you're just going to fall behind so early.
Yeah. The problem is he only has bench space for another Malamar or an attacker.
He opts not to bench. Yeah.
I think that's the correct
Yeah,
play.
of course it's the correct play.
Energy recycle system with a Guzma. So
Looking
Michael's
for a claw slash
hand
here is going to take a prize.
clearly waiting to pull off a trap or something.
He's finding a way to actually use the Guzmas in his hand, so he has nothing else.
He more than likely has nothing. Another mysterious treasure coming down. Discarding a Bridget, which is very strong. Bridget isn't often played in these kinds of decks.
It's not really needed, but
He does play one, I believe. So that is a very strong card for him at least. He does have a Necrozma coming down on the field.
and he does have a Max Lexer in his hand, but he's going to have to hit 2 of them to take a knockout on this Dustmane.
Of course, he can always Black Ray and try and set up knockouts for later, but out
Yeah,
of
Black Ray. No, Black Ray actually seems pretty strong here since he is playing. I do believe he's playing the baby Dawn Wings and Hoopa.
that is true, but it does open up the possibilities of a Meteor Tempest from Micheal, as he is just leaving something big on board, and then he doesn't have anything to follow it up. He does have a Marshadow with
Actually,
energy.
I don't see him ever using Meteor Tempest here, because if he goes for the 100 spread, right? He's going to go
Who?
for the... He's just gonna knock
Oh,
him
no,
out.
no, no. I was talking about Catron
Yeah.
using Meteor Tempest on
Oh, yeah.
the Solgaleo.
Yeah. I get Sun's Eclipse and Meteor Tempest mixed
Yes,
up.
it's fine. However, he is going to have a Sycamore in hand. He does Sycamore away his basic attacker,
He's
Dawn
looking for a
Wings.
Max Elixir and a Psychic. He does not get the Max Elixir.
He does, however, hit the Psychic, so he is able to pull off an attack with his Necrozma this turn.
That's about it, though.
He does have another Mysterious Treasure. I believe that makes 3 in his discard, so it is going to be very hard for him to get an actual attacker set up later in the game, but his deck is already thin enough that he'll probably be able to draw it anyway. What he does with his Necrozma here will be interesting, however.
I'm predicting he's going to Black Ray because that's just 400 damage on the board.
Yes, he doesn't have a way to switch it, however. Does he just pass?
He didn't have... did he fail the Max Elixir or what?
No, he didn't fail it. He just
He
passes
just
here.
decides not to go for it. Okay.
Interesting. So he does pass here, which gives Micheal the opportunity to just attack his Marshadow
Pretty
for
sure he has another
free.
Guzma in hand, too.
Oh, if Micheal has another Guzma, his Necrozma is in
And
danger.
Necrozma's going dead.
Yes.
He does have an Ultra Ball, so he does have an out to it. He's
No,
gonna
he
take the
doesn't
knockout
because he's
here.
paralleled.
Oh, is he paralleled?
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's just going to get knocked out. He just gives up his Marshadow. I mean, it doesn't really have anything in discard to utilize it.
He's
but
going to be
still.
taking the knockout on the Dustmane this turn.
I mean, I guess he was just trying to load up
But
energy, but
He
that,
needs to get some Inkays down on the board.
yeah, he only has 1 Mally out, but he is down 2 Inkays, which is a big problem. Yo. So he is going to Prismatic Burst this turn, I believe. Depending, he's going to Cynthia first, of course. He's going to draw.
Hopefully he finds an Inkay here.
Let's see what he hits off this. What he's hoping for most likely is an Inkay and another attacker, or just 2 Inkays so he can just run in.
I'd be looking for Inkay here, and I'd just be happy with that, honestly.
Just
He
an
already
Inkay
has
and a
what he needs to do for this
Malamar.
turn.
Hopefully. He misses it, but he
he
does
can
hit the
left.
Rescue Stretcher. Whether or not he wants to shuffle, however, is a different story.
Field blurs off the Lele.
So he float stones, he attacks with Prismatic Burst. He takes 4 prizes, so Michael's Beast Rings are now active if
he
he
chooses
has...
not to rescue Stretcher for the Inkay, though.
Michael does have a beast ring. He attaches it to Stack Attacker, interestingly enough. He's
Yeah,
most
going
likely
to kill
trying
that
to...
Malamar.
No, I think he's trying to set up an assembly KO and then Stack Attacker because it is 50 plus, so he is able to knock out the Necrozma and then the Malamar. He may, however, knock out the Malamar first just to be safe. It depends on what is in his hand. We know that he doesn't have a Guzma, but he does have an Ultra Ball, which he can get a
I do
Lele
believe he's
with.
going to Guzma here, because then he's just left with absolutely nothing on the board, having no Malamar.
But we do know that Michael's hand... He
going
gets
for the
Oranguru. Maybe his
Okay.
Lele is prized. Interestingly enough, he does get the Guru. He's most likely trying to draw
Maybe he got a
into
Sycamore
it.
off his prizes. He's at 3.
Michael Max Elixir's here,
Taking-
hopefully hitting a medal.
Yeah, taking
does.
one prize here is very good, because he sets him on even prizes. The game's most likely going to
Yeah.
die out from there.
But he can assembly here and just take a prize with whatever, especially if Necrozma doesn't have the ability to knock out his Stack Attacker. He's most likely... He hit a supporter. Choosing not to play it, however. Oh, he does choose to play it.
He's going for, what, 110 on this
Most-
active Necrozma.
Most likely trying to hit beast strings just so he can't lose the game next turn, setting up his Dusk main.
Yeah.
Maybe metal, just to have an attachment or something. You hit any beast strings. He does not.
Takes 2?
It's... Yeah. So he does knock out the Necrozma with his Stack Attacker. Another Necrozma coming down, and I don't think that Jake has a way to power it up.
how did
and
he
KO
knock it
Stack
out?
Attacker. He used assembly.
Okay.
So I don't think Jake has a way to knock out the Stack Attacker in a turn due to the metal resistance and the buff it gives, taking 10 less to itself. So if Catron just hits energy or a beast ring, I'm pretty sure the game is just over.
I think at this point, Jake should just pick up his cards and go to round 2.
Oh, did
needs,
he?
He needs a lot.
I guess Jake didn't cut. And Catron offers him like a very good opponent to allow him to cut.
Whiffs the Max Elixir? Yep.
It appears so. So Jake is put in a position where he can't KO anything this turn. It's a very bad position to be in against this deck, mainly because he's already at 4 prizes, so Michael's beast rings are still active. However, Michael only does play 2, I believe.
Is he just passing?
He just
Yeah,
passed.
he's going to round 2.
So Michael won game 1. Why is Jake standing up?
Yeah.
Why are you standing up? It's best 2 out of 3. Wacky man. So Jake does get to choose who goes first. So hopefully he'll be able to get his Inkay out in time instead of just having 1.